Hey everybody, it's Rykard here again, back with another black and white Pokemon analysis. Today, we're going to be discussing the Swan Pokemon, known as Swanna, original, right? So let's get started by taking a look at its stats and abilities. So first off, this Pokemon sports the same typing as Mantine, Gyarados, and Pelipper, meaning that it is a water flying type, which is pretty good typing, except for the 4 times weakness to electric. As for the abilities, the first one it gets is Keen Eye, which is a move that prevents accuracy drops from occurring, which means that a move like Sand Attack that lowers accuracy will have no effect on you with that ability. As for its next ability, which is Pigeon Heart, a new ability to Generation 5, that is a move that, or ability that prevents defense drops from occurring, so if a Pokemon used a move like Screech, it would also have no effect. Its last ability, Hydration, is probably its most useful, and it gets it in the Dream World. And if you don't know anything about this ability, what it does is it heals status conditions at the end of the turn if rain is on the field. Meaning that if you are poisoned or something like that, and you set up rain at the end of the turn, you're going to be cured of your poison because of hydration. And this is what made Manaphy such an amazing sweeper, I guess, to an extent, because it could just use Rest to heal up all its HP and then successfully take out a lot of different Pokemon with it because it also learns Tail Glow. But Hydration on Swanna is actually very useful as well, and you will see why in a moment. As for its stats, 75 HP with 63 defense and 63 special defense really isn't saying much for its defensive stats, meaning that this Pokemon really will not be able to take super effective moves at all, and it has just really low defenses, so if anything hits it for neutral damage, it could potentially one-hit KO it if it's powerful enough. And a unfortunate side effect is the fact that you are a flying type, so you will take 25% of your health every time you switch in if there is Stealth Rocks on the field. But that does not help your defenses at all. As for your attacks, though, you can either go physical or special, but this Pokemon does learn way more special moves than it does physical ones, so you're most likely going to go special with this Pokemon. But 87 base attack and special attack is still very usable, despite it not being incredibly high as some other special attackers or physical attackers in the game. And its last stat, speed, is at a really good 98, meaning that it will be quite fast if you put enough EVs into it and allow it to do a lot of damage really quickly, since it'll hopefully be outspeeding your opponent. But those are the stats, and now let's take a look at the set that I have for this Pokemon, Swanna. So similarly to the Zebraika video, I only have one set for this Pokemon, but again, the one set that I'm showing you right now is probably going to be its most useful one. So first, we're going to give Swanna a Timid Nature to increase its speed, but decrease its physical attack. And then we're going to be using the ability Hydration, which is your Dream World ability, to make use of Rain effectively. As for the EVs, 4 for HP to give you 1 more hit point, meaning that you will have an odd number of hit points, which essentially means you can switch in on Stealth Rocks 4 times and still be alive, which is great. As for the other EVs, 252 are going to Special Attack to give you your max Special Attack possible with the Timid Nature, and then 252 EVs are going into Speed to give you the max speed you can possibly have. As for the item for this set, we are going to be using a Life Orb, even though I personally don't like that item, but it actually works out really well because you have a very effective means of recovering your HP with the set. So first off, since we are using Hydration, the main crux of this set is going to be Rain Dance, which Swanna is capable of setting up itself. If you have another Pokemon on the field that can do that, or on your team that can set it up, I know that there's the Drizzle Politoed now that can auto-induce rain and things like that, but it works out either way. But if you have another Pokemon that can do it, you can have Hidden Power in the place of Rain Dance, or some kind of Hidden Power. It's really up to you. As for the next move, we're going to go with Boiling Water because it's a really good new water type move with 80 base power, and it has a 30% chance to burn your opponent, which is very useful since this Pokemon's defenses are not that great, as I said before. So by burning your opponent, you're decreasing their physical attack and thus allowing you to at least take a hit or two from them. As for its next move, it is a new flying type move. It has 120 power and 70% accuracy, and it's known as Gale. but if there is rain up, it has 100% accuracy. So that only complements this set even further. And one great thing about Gale is that it also has a chance to confuse your opponent, which could potentially allow you to survive even longer because, again, you don't have the best defenses in the world. So if your opponent hits themselves in confusion, then that's great, and then you can freely attack again the next turn. As for its last move, it is Rest, and obviously we're going to be using that as your primary means of recovery, seeing as this is a hydration set. And the great thing about Rest in this situation is that because you are putting yourself to sleep and healing up all your HP, you immediately wake up because of hydration at the end of the turn. So essentially it's free health, and you don't have to worry about staying in for the sleep turns or anything like that. And it also removes any other statuses that you have, even though hydration would still do that anyways. But this is a very useful set for Swanna, and probably its most useful set that it will ever utilize. It is a very shallow move pool to an extent, meaning that it really only learns flying and water type moves, obviously because it is a flying water type, but it doesn't learn a lot of other like unique special moves that could be utilized in the set. But still, having a 100% accuracy Gale with 120 power plus stab, and then boiling water, which will be stab and have increased power under rain, with the ability to heal yourself completely whenever you want to, is a extremely useful set that this Pokemon can make use of. And I'm sorry that's all I have for this Swan, but that's how it goes. So I hope you like this video, and you let me know what you think in the comments of this new Pokemon. So take care, guys, and goodbye.